Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Nola Boyer, and this is my co-host, Lori Vida.
Hello, Nola.
Hey, Lori. I'm looking forward to our conversation today because when it comes to public outreach, towns and cities should be thinking digital first.
I totally agree. Because you want to reach residents and visitors where they are, which is usually on their screens.
Exactly. Much like social media strategy for large corporations or for local nonprofits, it's just not a one-size-fits-all approach. And to delve into this, we're joined by Haley Zagacki, Marketing Operations Lead at Conceptual Communications. She's here with us to share how to create winning social media content and optimize it for your public outreach goals. Welcome, Haley.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me.
We're so excited that you're here. So, Haley, I understand that Conceptual Communications mainly works with the public sector. You help local governments and agencies with their communications. That's quite a specialized niche. What does your day-to-day look like working in this space?
Yeah, it definitely is. And every day is different, but that's what makes the work so fun. As you mentioned, we work with many cities and agencies in both South Florida and the Northeast on their public communications. In my day-to-day, I'm usually working with our clients on how we can best get their messaging out, which almost always consists of a digital marketing component. So, for example, with cities, we're focused on how we can reach residents with timely news or updates that could impact their daily lives.
Timely news and updates. Is that where social media fits into the strategy?
100%. It's a top priority for sure. We've seen studies show that followers of municipal, which is like cities and towns, social media accounts are some of the most engaged on the different platforms. So it's important that we're posting the timely news there regularly. And I'd say the real key is making sure your copy, your creative, and all your calls to action all make sense for that platform's capabilities.
To help us and listeners get a better idea of what that looks like, can you walk us through a recent successful campaign as an example?
Sure. The town of Lauderdale by the Sea recently launched their Circuit by the Sea electric shuttle service. So for weeks ahead of the ribbon cutting ceremony, we shared videos and posts to their social platforms to help educate their residents on how to ride the shuttle and answer any additional questions they may have. And we knew the education piece of this campaign was working once residents started screenshotting the town's posts and actually sharing them in their own community groups as an official source with the information. So I'd say the success really culminated for this when we created an Instagram reel after the ribbon cutting. The creative wasn't fancy at all. It was just one panning video of the shuttles paired with the trending audio and a call to action that the shuttles were available to ride, and to check the caption for more info on how to download the app. And the reel blew up. The reel received thousands of views and it was shared more than 130 times, which is a sizable number for a small town social media. And we also received a ton of questions on the service, and then people even tagging their friends in the comments to share it with them.
Whoa. That's really impressive. Mm-hmm. And it shows the value of social media for getting the word out. And it allowed you to see in real time how the residents were receiving the news. I also found it interesting to hear how you posted different types of content on the different platforms. Can you elaborate on the strategy behind that?
Mm-hmm. So it basically comes down to optimizing your content for what makes sense for whichever platform you're using. So, for example, on Instagram, highly visual creative makes sense. That means reels and carousels that are educational or entertaining and not overproduced. Mm-hmm. If you have breaking news, that would go on Twitter, where you can quickly and concisely share the information. Facebook, I would say, is great for sharing community events and answering any questions. But really, the secret sauce for all of it is that for all of these outlets, one of the most effective ways to expand your reach and engagement is one that's really often overlooked. And that's to create appropriate content for each platform. Users will skip past something that doesn't look native to that platform.
Oh, native to the platform. That's an important key component. And it's so much more intentional and strategic than posting the same thing everywhere. Do you have any other tips you can provide for creating winning social media campaigns?
Mm-hmm. I'd say try to avoid overwhelming people with a ton of copy to digest or like overly salesy lines. It's also important to engage with your community and provide value with every piece of content that you produce.
That is key. I think many people miss this point, especially when it comes to social media best practices. I mean, it's so important that the content you share be genuine, useful nuggets of copy, and most importantly, that you respond to the people who are engaging with your post.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Haley, for joining us today to talk about the approaches you and Conceptual Communications use with the public sector clients, and for sharing some of those strategies with us. With so much content out there, this will be helpful for anyone trying to cut through the clutter.
Yes, thank you for having me. I love talking about this part of the work that we do with our clients.
Listener, if you would like to find out more about Conceptual Communications, visit conceptualpr.com. Be sure to check out other episodes of the Messaging Matters podcast. Thank you for listening.